Cowboys Nation. Welcome to another episode of StarChasers Girls Talk Ball. I just want to go ahead and welcome our special guest, West Coast Cowboy. Look, first of all, y'all, this is the guy who brought StarChasers together. Me, Craven Cowboys, aka Mickey, and you know I got my girl Star on with me, aka StarGazer Sports Media. Go ahead, talk to him, Star. Let him know how you feeling tonight.
What's up, everybody? Glad to see y'all in the chat. What's up, Aisha? Glad to see everybody in the chat tonight. Y'all know we had Aisha here 2 weeks ago, and then we got Big Brother West Coast, like Mickey said, who brought us together. Literally, Mickey and I, we knew each other just from, obviously you talk and other Cowboys content creators chat, but we had never really linked up together. So Big Brother West Coast linked us up, gave each other number, and what is this, episode 15?
Yeah, I think 14 right now. Like, we 14,
We going strong.
Yeah.
Hey, man,
like she said, we on the roll, and like she said, shout out to Big Brother West Coast, like who gave us the idea of first of all, like she said, shout out to Aisha who's in the chat tonight, who came on our show a couple of weeks ago, which was a great pleasure to have you on, sis. Again, thank you so much. And just being like-minded in our ideas, just wanting to create a show where we just wanted to get our own ideas out there and just kind of put to keep it real with y'all, just putting a better name on women in sports who kind of want to get their ideas out there and just kind of put their point of view out there, and just to show that we not all women have trash takes in sports, just to let y'all know, just keeping it real, yeah. And really, I know we've been kind of chatting up West Coast, just kind of give us, what gave you the idea of really just bring us two together, and what you saw from, just
I'm gonna keep it real with you. The reason why, because man, y'all ain't monetized, right? Y'all monetized yet? Y'all okay? So y'all not monetized. We're trying to get there. So this is what we need to do real quick. Y'all need to help these young ladies get to monetization. So I need y'all to hit that star button. If you're on Facebook, I need you to hit on YouTube. I need you to hit that subscribe button. Listen to me. We don't steal content over here. We are not content jackers. You know what I'm saying? Don't come up in here with your ski mask on, everybody looking at you crazy. We see what you're gonna do, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm on high alert. I got my hand on my pistol right now. You ain't stealing no content over here. Hit the subscribe button. We know it's COVID, but you don't need the whole Scully on. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? But listen, hit the subscribe button. That's how you get these ladies paid. That's how you show these ladies that you appreciate them. Hit that subscribe button. Help them get to 1,000 subscribers. If you're on any platform, and then more importantly, like my boy Landlord say, it don't charge your card to hit that share button at all. It don't charge you a fee at all to share the content. When you're not, I'm gonna tell you this right now. When you're not monetized, Cash App and sharing is your monetization. That's what pays the bills to keep this stuff on. You know what I'm saying? So your shares and your Cash App. So I'm talking about. So make sure, that's the first thing I want to say is make sure you guys like it up. Make sure y'all share it up. Share. And then I'm gonna tell you. The reason why I said that is because I say this. The reason why I felt there need to be a women's cowboy show is there's some dumbass cowboy men. They're like, they be in my comment box. And like literally, I be on some shows and it'd be like me and like 6 intelligent cowboy ladies having a conversation. But it'd be 300 people on there. And I literally just be talking to the ladies. And I'm gonna tell you this right here. So many times I have literally been frustrated with cowboy men, and I have said this statement out of my mouth, bruh. One day I hope I can just get to the point where I can only make content for Cowboys ladies. You wanna know why? Because I feel like this. When it comes to men, I'm gonna be honest with you, right? We will pretend like we know a bunch about something that we know we don't know, right?
Right.
That's just men. Bruh, I ain't never been lost in my life. On my mama, I ain't never been lost in my life. I always know where I'm going. GPS, I'm here to help the GPS. You feel me? A woman, mine is gonna be like, I don't know where I'm at. What the GPS at? Right. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Right.
Now you take that same mindset and you put that in football. What I feel like is you're always gonna get as close to the truth as possible. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Because they're not gonna fall for the fluff. And more importantly, the one thing I know about, just women and, just being a bunch of, I got a bunch of powerful black women in my life is this. If they know they don't know something, they will put the work in to do it.
Yep.
Like for us men, We'll just be like, ah, man, I've been watching football for 40 years. I don't need to watch film. Okay.
Right.
Okay. I can tell you all the linemen from the 1987 Cowboy team. Okay. What that got to do with the current linemen right now, though? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
But I just think it's a woman's mind on sports. That's just what it is.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, we definitely appreciate you. Yeah, like I said, like I was saying before, like just bring us together, and like we said, we just kind of just want to get our own, kind of get our own voices out there. Shout out to Boss Cowboy as well. Your voice matters. So it was just great for you to give us your time today on the Wednesday evening, and and really just kind of kickstart it off. Give our thoughts on this past weekend game, and like I was saying yesterday, and kind of, I'm sure, you guys could agree that we're not really too down bad about this, about this loss that we just took, this past weekend. I don't know who wants to go first, but just kind of give your thoughts on this past weekend and how you guys feel about the game.
Yeah, I'll go first. I think now.
Thank you for not getting me canceled, because if I would have went first, I would have got canceled like a mother. Look at that. Look at him. Look at him. I bet you he doesn't even open the door for him. I bet you his wife walks to the door. He walks in and just lets her get. He probably makes her pump her gas. That West Coast. I'm just saying, man. So the way y'all think about me. Thank you for going first. Go ahead, girl.
We'll go for shout out to Amp Sports in the building. Shout out Amp.
Yes,
oh, that's my dog.
Glad to have you in the chat tonight, Amp. So I'll say it like this. Initially, I wasn't upset because as the game was going on, I was like, wow, this is a pretty good call game. It seems like we're battling. Wasn't pleased with what the defense was doing, but it just didn't seem as bad. When you're watching the game, you're like, we still at the end of the game, you still have 2 or 3 chances that you could have won it. But then after the game, I started really it was like I wasn't mad, but then I got mad because I was like, this was a game. And of course, this wasn't like a must-win game, but us losing this game really, really did make it way harder on ourselves seeding-wise. I think everybody would prefer for us to have a home game. In order for us to have a home game, we got to win the division. Us losing this game put us 2.5 games back, right?
Yeah.
From the Eagles. So you're literally now in a position where you have to, realistically, if we have any shot of winning the division, we probably can have one more loss. That's it.
Yeah.
One more loss. The Eagles, on the other hand, now they have some difficult games coming up, but what's the difference? I went through and looked at the difference between our schedule and the Eagles schedule. They're hard games when they have to play Buffalo.
Suspect.
What'd you say?
They're suspect too. They're the Miami Dolphins.
Right. Buffalo is suspect, right?
Yeah.
But they playing them in Philly. Okay. Then now they do got to go to Arrowhead after the bye week, and that should be a good game. I don't know who's going to come out with that one. But when you see that Philadelphia, they're going to play the 49ers at home, and they're going to play Buffalo at home. So 2 of their hardest their opponents, they got to go to the link to beat them, right? And these are the Buffalo Bills are suspect.
Trash.
The 49ers is on a 3-game losing streak. Now, we hope, not really, but somehow we hope that they beat Philly because that would help us seeding-wise, right?
Yeah, I was telling you that too. A star that their schedule last year was looking kind of cake like that too. Like they had their hardest games at home as well.
And they're like, oh, y'all play the same opponents, but bro, it's a difference between playing. Like, look, the way our schedule's set up, we gotta go to Buffalo in December. It's going to be a snowball out there.
Right.
We got to play Buffalo in Buffalo. Then we got to fly across the country and go play Miami in Miami full strength.
Right.
So you see that type of stuff, like you have really made it. Not saying that it's impossible. It's not impossible, right? It's still a very possible chance that we could win. But now you need the Eagles to drop a few games. You need them to drop a few games if we're realistically going to be able to take the conference, but most like the NFC East. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I think that's what really made me upset, because I'm like, if you look at the game between the 49, ever since after the 49ers game, you've seen our offense progress. The way our offense looked in that 49ers game compared to how our offense looked versus the Eagles, night and day. But when you look at Mickey, and you can pull that graphic up, I don't know if you got it in the slideshow or not, but when you look at what the defense did, you didn't see progression against another contender team. Yeah, shout out to Skywalker, still tuned into him and Okoye this morning.
Yeah.
And take a look. So here's our wins. 10 points, point per game 10, turnovers 12, third down defense 28%. In our losses, bro, 32 points per game, 1 turnover, 51% third down defense.
Yeah, and we had just 50% this last week against the Eagles, and their record, their percentage in the league was 50% on third downs.
Exactly. Like, we could not, and they knew what they had to do, but we could not get. Now, granted, some of that was because of the refs, right? But at the same time, some of that was because of us, right? And so when you look at that, it's like Dan Quinn, and we're going to talk about it more, but I'll just leave it at that. I think I was upset because I'm like, if you see the way that our offense progressed, and yes, there was, people got the all 22, oh, Dak, you could have hit it here, whatever. Not saying what happened at the end of the game was we wish it didn't happen that way. But in the same breath, hey, if defense doesn't give up 28 points, those last couple of drives, if defense limits the Eagles just one time to a field goal, just one time, just limit them to a field goal and settle out and get a touchdown, we win the game. So, and our defense is supposed to be our strength. This is supposed to be an elite defense, all this stuff. But it's kind of making me sour that I don't know if this defense, if we can count on it, because it's seeming like a very boom or bust defense. But y'all can give y'all thoughts now on the game. Sorry for my rambling, but
no, you're good.
That was pretty good. I mean, I agree with everything you said on all those points. Not to give them any excuses though, but in losses, them stats is always going to be the same. If you look at every team right now, there's never a team that play good defense in a loss. It's just like there ain't teams when losing 6-3. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what it is in the NFL. But this is the thing that the Cowboys need to understand. And as a fan base, I think we need to wrap our heads around it. That's realistic factor in football.
I think you're breaking up, West Coast.
Huh?
I think you're breaking up a little bit.
Yeah.
It's still kind of cutting out a little bit.
It's still choppy. You may need to go out and come back in.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead and get my thoughts right quick, just on the game of what I got from it. I just think that although with the loss, I think it just gave our team, I don't want to say a little more confidence, because we've had confidence with these last few games against the Chargers, against the Rams. Just how we kind of came out, and we see a little bit more progression like we mentioned earlier, week by week. Just seeing that McCarthy brings smarter with the play calling, us with better execution, in the red zone, getting more of our players involved. We see Tolbert, getting his first touchdown of his career. That really just gives it will give some time for West Coast to come back in. Yeah, but like I said, it just gives them that gives them a confidence boost, and it gives the team a boost that we have more guys that we can go to. It's not just about I like that on one side too, like that we're developing more of a relationship with an even better relationship with CD and Jake Ferguson. We're getting those guys involved heavy and early, but also like that we're involving other playmakers. We're getting Tolbert involved. Even Lipke had a target. Even Lipke had a target, I think, on a third and short. Us trying to convert, and also Turpin getting a touchdown. Him getting more touches on offense, and we always wanted that. Since last year. So I just like that. number one, that we're finally seeing the offense evolve and really evolve. Week by week, we're not seeing. I don't say we're not seeing a slow progression. I think we're seeing just different targets every week, and I think that's just a little bit more on the Brandon. Just touching a little bit on the Brandon Cooks thing. I think. And I do. We of course we want to see him involved more. Heavy early. We definitely should have been seeing him involved by now. But hopefully, and even now with the pressure, a little bit kind of being put on Mike McCarthy at this point, I'm sure he's feeling it not only from the media but from front office. I'm sure now he's, and even Dak, mentioning in his presser saying that, that Brandon Cooks is a weapon. He has to get him involved, like even just constantly as a quarterback. Period. Getting a weapon like him involved. It's on him as well. So hopefully, I just think that. I think from this game, we just have little nuggets of lessons that we can take from this game that really can, our game is already elevated, if not, elevate our game even more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that too. Okay, West Coast is back. Okay, looks like the video was clear.
Yeah,
but and I agree with that. And I see people like, why are we scared of Buffalo? And it's not about being scared, guys. It's like, it's just use common sense. Like, yeah, these teams are sus, right? They're sus, but you gotta think like the Dallas Cowboys. Reason why we as fans sometimes have bad taste in our mouth when we feel like something's bad is about to happen is because it tends to happen to our team. We had no business losing to the Cardinals. We lose to the Cardinals, right? Last year, Christian Watson sucked. Let's be honest. He was dropping ball. He had zero confidence. All we had to do
before that, Aaron Rodgers couldn't get to him, so quote unquote.
Terrible. Get the ball all we had to do with we could have ended the Packers season. What did we do? Put life into the Packers season.
Right.
Yeah.
So please just spare me. Oh, that team sucks. We shouldn't be scared. It's not about being scared of them. It's just about you are having these are going to be challenging games. Do I know that we have the personnel and the talent to do it? Yes. I knew we had the person, and what we hate as fans, we know we have the talent to do it. But somehow when we're getting into these high pressured moments, it always seems to be the same song and dance of we almost got it. We fought really hard. We almost beat them, but we didn't beat them. And that's what got me upset. But it's okay. Like I said, we are moving on. You know what I'm saying? But it's still just you can't shake feelings. You're at the point where the team is going to have to show me, can you do what you need to do to actually get over that hump? I don't want to keep, it was just some details we messed up. How long that's going to be the excuse?
Right.
That's just my point. West Coast can give his thoughts now.
I mean, yeah, and then it's like, just to you look at it on a large standpoint. At the end of the day, like we are really trying to do some impossible stuff. The Cowboys have not made it to the playoffs 3 consecutive years since 92. You know what I'm saying? So this year was already, and shout out to El Professor for the $10 super chat. We were already trying to do something impossible, but at the same time, like I think Cowboys we don't feel so bad about the Philadelphia game, right? So why don't everybody feel so bad about last season then, as a whole? Because I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. The same way I feel about the Philadelphia game is the exact same way I feel about last year's game. I mean, last year's entire season as a whole. I look on it and I see failure? Hell yeah, I see failure because we didn't win no Super Bowl. We didn't beat the Philadelphia Eagles. But in a primetime game when everything mattered, my quarterback balled.
Showed up right. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So it's like, bruh, I like, unfortunately, you can't take that from me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because everybody's been saying that's the reason why we can't da-da-da-da-da. Well, guess what? Get me in that game. Me in that game because I'm going to tell you this right here. Yes, Dan Quinn is tripping. The defense is tripping. They tripping. But let's just keep it 100. When we really need them dudes to show up, the defense is going to show up, bro. They're not going to let in a playoff game. 24 points is a good game. That's what it is. Your offense got to score. You know what I'm saying? They got to do their job. Think about this. In the last two playoff games, when your team needed turnovers, or you're not even just they needed the ball back. What did Anthony Brown do in 2021? What is that, 2021, when he intercepted the ball with like 2.5 minutes left in that that's who actually everybody hates Anthony Brown. Think about this. He's the one that got the ball back for Dak to go back down and do the whatever he did. I don't know what that
Everybody
was.
hates Kelvin Joseph. He's gone now, but he's the guy who actually got us the ball back in the playoffs, and we can only come up with 3 points.
That's called an alley-oop. That's called an alley-oop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you dunked it. So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So it's like if you're telling me that my defense, for the most part, who always shows up in big games, like my defense don't be getting blowout, man. Like my defense gets blown out on a 10 o'clock game where you got to watch it on your phone and West Coast computer ain't working. So I got to go to my homeboy house and we watching it on the goddamn Cody. And it's skipping every 5 minutes. That game,
well, I know about that Cody West Coast. I know about that Cody.
True.
I heard that.
Yeah, but for sure, think about this, ladies. For sure, that game, they're not showing up. We're gonna get blown out, right? But games on the line, Tom Brady playoffs, bro, they're gonna show up, bro. In that game, listen to me. The last two playoff games, bro, your defense showed up. You're playing on the road for the consecutive time. For the second time, you're trying to win in the playoffs for the second time. People don't even understand how hard that is. How many road games did Philadelphia have to win to get to in the playoffs? Right. To even get to the Super Bowl? None. Think about this. If Philly wins one road game, they put a ring on their finger.
Yep.
They had to win one. Think about this. We were about to have to win three. Well, we won the first one. We went to the number one defense in football. We were already a 6-point underdog. So even Vegas was like, this is going to be a hard one for the Cowboys. They're going to have to really come with it on this one. We were the underdogs in the game. My defense did as well as you can imagine or you can want them to do in a playoff game, bro. Bro, offense got to freaking score. So you're telling me now that now I got people like Ryan Clark who have been consistently hating on Dak, who say stuff, and I don't even blame. I know Stephen A. Smith. He's so gadgety. Like, bro, I'll tell y'all a story on some stuff I saw from Stephen A. Smith. It's all a gimmick. But long story smart, Clark, the dude from the Steelers, he really don't like that. You know what I'm saying? And what he said was monumental. He said, man, what we learned about Dak is this. He is and will not be the reason that the Dallas Cowboys don't win a Super Bowl. You got to kill that because he's good enough. So if he's good enough, and I feel like Dan Quinn can get it together, because think about this. Last thing I'll say about this, Dan Quinn was not the defensive coordinator in that Super Bowl game. He was the head coach. When they gave up them points, he was not the defensive coordinator. That was a totally different dude that got fired for that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I digress, and I say, listen to me, man. I'm like y'all. I'm upset. I wanted to win. But, bro, put Dak in that similar situation and ask him to play just like that again. Man, we're going to be all right.
Yeah. And that's, that's what, of course, that's what we hope for. We believe in our team. It's not the fact that we don't believe. It's just the fact that, and yeah, that's true. In the past playoff games, they have shown up, like, no doubt about it. But when you look at, I just hate, and this is the last thing I'm going to say about it. Yeah, Kelvin Joseph, yeah, he's horrible, and he's not here. But he did get a turnover in the biggest game of our lives last year. But anyway, moving on. So I just think that, like, at the end of the day, dog, like, we just have to play complementary football. And I expected the defense to go in there and really shut Philly down. Like I said, Philly was going to get 17 points. We was going to get like 24-30. We was going to win the game. It was not even going to be close. And then our defense gives up 28 points. So that's the only thing that I am concerned about. It's not the fact that can we do it, it's will they. That's it. Like that's my only concern. It's not can they, will they. I know who our defense is.
And really, just to piggyback off what both you guys are saying, just now I'm thinking about, like, and I definitely do agree with you guys, like, on what you're saying about giving up the point star, but also with what West Coast mentioned about offense scoring points. Like, I mean, if you look how we came out on that first drive, once again we came out conservative. Once again we came out giving the ball to Pollard. We're not successful in the first two runs, and then we throw incomplete, Dak overthrows, kind of like a replay of the 49ers game once again. So if we come out aggressive on that first drive, if we come out just true to our identity, instead of trying to fill out Philly and see what they're going to do and see what they're trying to do on defense, just come out and play your game. Like, instead of worrying about what we're going to do, just come out and play your game straight. Just come out aggressive. Like you say, your identity is fast and physical. Come out up tempo. Come out keeping the defense on their heels and just prove your point. Even though you're in their house, but play your game and just just have Philly kind of just relate to what your game is, instead of trying to fill out what their game is going to be on defense. And I think that could have been pivotal really from out the gate. We come out, we saw how we came out on the second drive. And we were able to get the ball to our guys. And,
I agree with that. I think now, like,
Cowboy defense got to stop giving up points on their first drive. Like, bro,
that's what I'm saying. At this point,
like, come on, bro. God damn it.
Because we
help a brother out.
The offense has to be aggressive. The offense has to be aggressive because our defense just letting ninjas walk right down the field and score. So it's just like, at this point, we have to make it to where we are trying to at least get 3 points on the first drive. So no, we can't come out. Listen, and I was.
We'll run and go get my charger real quick.
Okay, no problem. I was pissed off when I saw them doing. I'm like, why are we doing that? Now I understand the logic.
Yeah,
but we cannot. This is a defense that's good enough to win a championship with. They are a good defense.
Yeah,
they are not going to carry us to a championship.
Yeah,
and that's the difference. Like, this identity. That's why you see the offense be more aggressive, because this defense, like West Coast. What's up, James? Like West Coast.
How you doing, James? Good to see you.
They're going to show up. They're going to get you the ball back. They're going to do the best that they can, right? But as far as carry, this is the 2000 Ravens. They're going to get turnovers, and they're going to no. They're not.
Right.
I'm sorry. They're just not.
No, I agree with you. I definitely agree with you on that star. Like, I think that's what they're trying. I think that's what they're starting to see too. Like, and McCarthy especially, because he was kind of like his, kind of like his stepping stone, but like his, what he leaned on when he came to press conferences. Oh, we're going to cater to our defense. We're going to cater to our defense. Hey, if we can't score points, the defense go out there, Like, now we're finding out, like, hey, like, the defense makes mistakes. The defense commits too many penalties. The defense is not as sharp as we thought. So now, the offense, and now I think McCarthy is starting to realize, or not just now, but in the previous weeks, during that bye week, hey, we got to adjust. We're gonna have to start.
He said it too. He's like, listen, I don't know what I said. I don't know. We said we was gonna run a ball, we gonna be defensive, but we got to score points.
Facts.
And that's why you see the aggressiveness. Like, we have to, dog. Like, that's the only way. Like, it's no more, like I said, this ain't 2000 Ravens or whatever that year that the Bucs defense was amazing. This is just not that. Our defense ain't going to lose us games. They're not going to lose us games, right? But as far as we're going to be this defensive-led team and they're going to be shutting the team, no, dog. Like,
yeah, and then and also we got to remember too, like, man, this is a different versus. I would look at, if you go look at the Ravens, the 2010, when they were averaging 17.8 points in the allowed. I'm pretty sure like the offenses that they were there weren't the offenses that are conducive now. Like, man, they really, like, everybody in the league has a receiver that they think can be the guy. You know what I'm saying? Whether we believe it or every team has their version of they think is a CeeDee Lamb or AJ Brown. Like, every team has it. There's just the talent scale is just so ridiculous right now.
Yep.
So it's like, I think like the biggest mistake McCarthy made with his defense is he over not compensated, but he over like he basically overly hyped, not necessarily hyped him up, but it's like, for us to realistically think about this, they added another game, right? You have small D tackles, you have smaller linebackers,
right?
You have you have safeties playing linebackers. So it's like, technically, you are a small, fast defense.
Correct.
What that says to me is At the beginning of the season, y'all gonna be cracking and smacking everything that's moving. But come week 5, my arm hurts. Come week 7, my leg hurts. Come week 10, I don't know if I can go, coach. Why? Because the Cowboys have so many players that are just flat out playing out of position. Like the Marquise Bell story. I absolutely love it. I love it that he's being rated as the #1 linebacker in football. And I'm like, and I love it because it's like he's getting accolades, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, damn, the Dallas Cowboys is getting some top end pay on a kid who's never gonna get paid like a linebacker. You want to know why? Because realistically, what he's doing right now is sustainable for a season. Why? Because, bro, your body's not going to let you do that. You have real linebackers who aren't doing that right now. Like right now. You know what I'm saying? And then think about this. Once you bulk up and put the frame, the explosiveness and all those other things.
That goes away. Right.
It goes right away.
That's the problem. Yeah, and that's the problem here. Like, and it's like, yeah, Marquise Bell, he's a guy. If he's kept clean and he trusts his instinct and he shoots the gap, you're not going to get him. But if you can get any type of guard or somebody on him, it's a wash.
We saw this past weekend. Going up against Mailata, you know what I'm saying?
It's a wash, and it's the same thing for Damone Clark, bro. Like, it's the wash. Right. So I'm like.
And we're seeing these these instances of these guys popping up, like West Coast mentioned, popping up on the injury report. We saw Clark pop up on there. We saw Wanye. This past week we see Marquise Bell
as well. Mm-hmm. They're all on there because it's like they can do it. And Dan was asked about Marquise Bell, and he's like, "Oh, I just even though because they asked him like, he's kind of small, like a converted." Right. Safety to linebacker, then it's just never a problem with him, and he can just really shed and get out blocks. It's like, Dan, stop it, Dan. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, he cannot. But it's like, I don't know.
It's almost like
this is the thing. Like,
I just kind of got this vibe where like DQ just like sweet talks the media. Like for every reason, after he finished talking, it's like you almost don't even hear what he says. Like they're like, okay, cool, next question. Like they don't even question.
He always start off his damn meetings like he always got a speech, like like
a monologue and stuff. Like really?
Exactly, he got a monologues and think pieces, so they don't even think to be asking him like, okay, we did bring Rashaan Evans. Like, are we ever gonna see him? Wanye balled out beginning of the season. Are we ever gonna see him? Why did you have Jay Lou lined up over Dallas Goedert?
Okay.
Like, maybe we could have played the matchup game better with Wanye, who's a little bit taller, or maybe Curse, whoever. I don't give a F, but someone who's not the smallest corner that we have on team recovering from a list range.
$4.5 million. They're trying to get their money's worth.
Like, oh my God. It just, but it's like in critical downs, like Dan Quinn playoff and stuff like that. I'm not really getting that. Like,
my thing, Dan Quinn, I love that Dan Quinn loves his system. I just think he loves it a little bit too much, and he needs to have a plan B. Because it's cool to have this fast defense that's quick to run to the ball. But like, what happens when you play like them Nebraska style? I'm just them big old cornfield, them dudes that's like, bro, we're gonna run the freaking football. He needs to be able to switch out his linebackers, or at least have two guys on the team that can just be standard linebackers. Everybody is like a tweener. You know what I'm saying? And the thing that sucks about a tweener,
everybody can play the matchup game. That's it.
Yeah, and the thing that sucks about a tweener is if you never really get a bunch of guys who are really good at one thing. And people always try to say that it's not good to be good at one thing. I actually don't agree with that. I think it's really good to be really good at one thing. And I think in life, you'll find that there is one thing that you're really, really good at versus everything else that you're just, that you just excel in. So it's like, you allow these guys to do the one thing that they are good at, like Evans, like Rashaan Evans, like, bro, he's a real linebacker that's going to help you in the run game.
Right.
But I mean, some plays where they're going to be running the ball. They already like taking. Micah Parsons is not helping you in the run game anyway. So why not bring him off the bench? I'm not tripping.
Right.
Like Mike is not. He's not. That's not. And listen to me. Ain't nobody hating on Micah for saying that because the film say it, bro. The film 100%. Micah don't even give a damn about tackles for loss. He don't give a damn. That boy wants sacks. That's it. I didn't see Michael Parsons run right past the running back.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
he had Micah playing a little bit of linebacker versus the Eagles, and Micah looked pretty good. Like Micah is a guy that I think, of course, he wants sacks, right? You want him to be able to rush the passer on rushing downs. Like I feel like Micah, when we used him his rookie year, he really was our chess piece. And I feel like now we just come, and I don't know if it's Michael who wants us to be completely locked at edge. I don't know if it's the front office.
I'm pretty sure the money.
Quinn, or I don't know if it's all three of them. But I think
Michael wants to be TJ Watt, but the problem is he wants to be these Bosick dudes, but we're in a 4-3, bruh. Like we're not a 3-4 defense. You know what I mean? Like, you get what I mean? Like, if he wants to really do that, he needs to talk to the Cowboys about changing the defense. Like, he wants to be Von Miller. He wants to be the TJ Watts. He wants to be these guys who are just perennial pass rushers, but they can come from the, but we run a 4-3, bro. Like, we're a 4-3 defense. So the only way you're going to be able to really do that is if you are a defensive end. Because think about this. If you're a linebacker rushing from the defensive end, that means I got one less linebacker in the backfield. Because there's only 11 dudes on the field. You know what I mean? That's one less guy. So it's like when he does rush, he has to be almost considered a defensive end so you can get the other linebacker on the field.
Yep. I mean, and that's the issue. And when you see, and I think fans struggle because you really got to look, you look at all the pressures. Michael's number one, like you look into the in-depth statistics, number one, all this stuff, right? But then you look at the box score and you're like, oh, Mike only got a sack. Mike only got half sack. What's up with that? Now, granted, does Micah get held? And I talked to my brother about this, and I said Micah should speak up about how he's getting held. You have that platform. Yeah. You see how you opened up your mouth about how the media treat Dak Prescott and the team. And now Dak Prescott lost versus the Eagles. He balled out. Dak balled out, but lost. Now you see all these, Dak is – we realize
he really the only way he can do that, the only way Micah can do that is like this, man. It's like, you a lawyer, right? So, hey, man, once you say they can search the car, they can find anything. That's all I'm saying.
That's true.
The rule, like, the dude on the YouTube said, just close your mouth and don't say nothing.
The Cowboys, maybe Micah can't say it directly, but the Cowboys pay somebody under the table and get it out because Micah is getting held at an alarming rate, but no one's doing nothing about it. Like, that's the issue. Like, it's just like, oh my God, look, he's getting held. And then
this past week, getting at the officials, like, hey man, you can look up at the screen and see.
But ladies, let me tell you. I'm gonna tell you though, that like complaining to the Micah can say, first off, outside of the platform, he not gonna say nothing because they're not trying to get them fines, which I think is kind of crazy because it's like I think it's crazy that a player can't voice his negative opinion about a referee, but I don't know if there's a fine if a referee wants to say something negative about a player. You know what I'm saying? But a player can't. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they almost make it so that the referees are it's ultimate and finale. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they're the commissioner of the field. So honestly, Micah, as long as he is great, he is going to have to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, it's just what it is. Like the rules don't even predicate. They want the ball to get off. You know what I'm saying? Like the last thing they want is Micah Parsons getting sacked. They want the ball going downfield. You know what I'm saying? So the rules in the NFL don't even really benefit pass rushers. You know what I'm saying? Micah Parsons could literally blow past the defensive end, hit the quarterback, and his face mask slide up and touch the quarterbacks and just kiss the quarterback's face mask. And guess what? They taking the whole sack, and it's going to be helmet to helmet. You know what I'm saying? They protect the quarterback so well. So it's like, it's just another avenue another layer of them protecting the quarterback because I honestly believe that there's more than just Micah Parsons getting held. And I honestly believe that because of the flow, because you got to remember, like a lot of people don't remember that TV does control a lot of this, right? So it's like if they buy a 3-hour block of time and And this is the reason why they will never have. Because listen, we can fix the problem. You can fix the problem just by putting cameras. Use cameras. Why won't they use cameras? Because the game will be 5 hours long. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think it's systematic. I think a holding on a defensive end. I think it's something that it's a hush hush. But I'm pretty sure TJ Watt feel the same way. I'm pretty sure Myles Garrett feel the exact same way. I'm pretty sure they all feel that way.
I think though, when you look at how Micah's body frame, even though Micah put on weight, Micah is still nowhere near close to the body frame of a TJ Watt, a Myles Garrett. And I think like when fans see like why don't we have games where it seems like Micah has completely taken over this game? You know what I'm saying? Like you have Myles Garrett, like you have TJ Watts, like you have JJ Watt when he was playing, like you have all of these premium pass rushing guys. I mean, you could even say, I hate to say it, but I mean, in the playoff game where Philly played the 49ers, I mean, Hassan Reddick was going off. I mean, he's the one who freaking injured Brock Purdy. Like, so it's like, why in Hassan Reddick? I'm not saying, I don't know, any Eagles fans, Hassan Reddick is not Micah Parsons under any circumstances. But I'm saying when you look at those body types and you look at Micah is literally still that he put on weight, but he's still a linebacker. I just think that there's other ways that you can use Micah also while keeping him being a pass rusher where he can be more effective and you can see this guy completely took over this game. Looks like you will look at his Penn State game when they played the championship. Micah was everywhere in that game. Like he's here, he's there, he's rushing the passer, he's blocking this, he's doing this, he's blowing up the backfield, stopping the run. He's doing it. It's like that's how I feel like Micah should be used. I know people may say it's crazy, just keep him on edge. Okay, well, that's fine. But I just feel like his full potential is not being unlocked, in my opinion. Now, if Micah just wants to stay at edge, and I think Micah should gain more weight, bulk the hell up so that you can be already more dominant than you are. And maybe because of your body frame, you don't get held as much, but then that will take away his speed. So I don't know. It's up in the air, but we can get.
I mean, think about this. Think about this on the final play of that Green Bay game versus the Green Bay game in the playoff game. David Irving got held. Remember when we played Green Bay in the playoffs at home?
Yep.
David Irving got held.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So. You know, I think unfortunately, man, like they're just not gonna. I'm pretty sure Micah beats a tackle damn near every play. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I think I think it's a hush hush, but I just think even if he's complaining about it, you definitely ain't getting it. Because I ain't never seen someone get their way after they complain about it. It typically gets worse after they complain about it because referees, when you complain to a referee, you got to think a referee already think he know more than a player anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like he already think you know what I'm saying? Referees are bruh, I've gotten kicked out of a flag football game because of a referee, bruh, for real. Like
we saw Micah voices his frustrations last year against the refs, saying that they were missing calls and this, that, and third. So they can still be holding that against him into this season.
Like I got kicked out of the game and the opposing coach got me back in the game.
It's possible. It's like maybe the argument doesn't need to be to the refs. It needs to be to the NFL. Like maybe it's not to the refs, like because the refs are human beings, and of course I don't know. I'm sure they got to go do training and all that stuff. So they're like, "If you, Micah, you don't know what you're talking about." But I think like at some point, like you've got to figure it out. But what else do we have on the
Shout out to my boy El Future. He says were so many holding calls missed where Micah was getting held, but my boys had plenty of chances to put the game in the pocket. Breakdown of Marquise Bell was accurate.
Yeah. Shout out to
I got to pick my grandmother up, so I got like 5 minutes.
Okay.
All right, cool. Well, if you got about 5 minutes, if you just want to give your quick thoughts of I know we played the Giants, in week 1, but if you want to give your quick thoughts, do you think we expect a similar type of game from week 1? Or how do you think the Cowboys were game plan for this upcoming week?
I mean, the Giants should be trying to go to the draft, and if they not, they crazy. So the Giants should be trying every way to lose this game. Like they should be trying.
They should be
like
trying.
what do you get? Like listen to me. Like the Giants, like like I'm not a tanker. Like I will never believe in tanking, but I'm also a Dallas Cowboy fan where we have pride and all. You know what I'm saying? Like we still go to like I went to the COVID year. It was them fans was just in that stand. You know, I went to games the year in 2015 when we only won like 4 games. People was in them stands. Like we go to games. You know what I'm saying? So tanking, you know, and then that's not us. We can't do that. You know what I'm saying? But for other organizations who ain't got that pride and all this stuff, man, hey man, knock yourself out. So for them, the best they need to get to the draft. They need a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Your quarterback did not play good, and then he got hurt on top of that.
Right.
Double whammy. Double whammy. You know what I'm saying? He's not even like so even if you thought he played
because he paid him.
Yeah, so think about this. So even if you like him, you still gotta think he gotta get healthy to come back to hope that he don't play bad.
That's the same thing that Titans go through. That's crazy. Like there's an organization out there who desperately need a quarterback who made major mistakes at quarterback. So I just go back to that argument. That's an argument that Star brings up a lot. Like we could be going through worse things as far as quarterback. So we definitely have
like our quarterback came back from a major injury was good. Like
and people don't get that. It doesn't happen, bro. Like it doesn't happen. Like you can say what you want about Dak, but the way he recovers from injuries that quickly, he came back from an injury where he had no training camp, nothing, like rehab the whole time. And after that Bucs game, everybody's saying Dak Prescott was elite. He's elite. He's elite. He's elite.
Right.
He's elite. Like come back. You can see it with the players on our own damn team. Like you don't come back from those injuries and be fine. Like it takes a while, unless you are just some freak of nature body specimen, which Dak happens to be one of those people clearly. Because look at when Russell Wilson broke his thumb, he was terrible. That he came back, but he was not good. Dak came back from breaking his thumb.
I gotta let it. For all the men that's watching, I know we calling a flag on the play on that one. Dak is just a specimen. He's just a motherfucking flag on the goddamn play. Every man in here was like, "Yeah, sis, well, we was rocking with you until you went there." He's just a specimen.
That's the hard that plays with. We're definitely very lucky to have the quarterback, especially how he played this last week. Just knowing that, and like Star was saying before, like everyone giving him his credit that he's been due. You know what I'm saying, saying that, that he outplayed Jalen Hurts, just putting it, giving his all for his team.
He was a better quarterback coming in the game, though. He was folks was tripping, bro. Jalen Hurts completed 17 passes, bro. Yeah. 17.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Yeah. Like
I had a wide receiver that had 16 targets.
Showed the stats side by side, I think right before halftime about the comparison, the numbers, the yards.
Jalen Hurts. I'm sorry, Jalen Hurts has progressed. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, that throw he threw to Bland is like, geez. I mean, I don't know. But the guy, he's getting better, but he still's got a ways to go. He's got a ways to go, in my opinion, before he can get on that level. But, he's growing. Good for Jalen Hurts. He's 21-1. He keeps winning. He's a winner. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, that's what I
ain't gonna say all that. I ain't gonna say all that now. But, hey, but the Cowboys gonna 40. I think the score is gonna be indicative, around the same score it was before. They're gonna really take it out on them dudes, which they should. I think Dak's gonna have another huge game versus them. I think CeeDee Lamb's gonna have another huge game versus them, and then
make it. I think our fifth game, we'll be able to sit our starters, or maybe in the third, maybe the late third or fourth quarter.
Yeah, and get our young guys in there and let our young guys play. I do foresee it being another one of those types of games. The Giants, I mean, they're going to try, but they don't play.
They shouldn't, though. They shouldn't be. They shouldn't be trying.
And they never really
because Tyrod Taylor probably not even. Because Tyrod Taylor, I don't even think he's playing.
No, he's not playing. It's their undrafted free agent rookie quarterback, Tommy DeVito, I think is his name.
Yeah,
they got an actor playing quarterback.
Tommy DeVito. So, I mean, it's gonna be a blowout, So I just think the Giants, they try like the first quarter and then they just lay down usually. Who plays as hard as
I think the Cowboys should try to go get Saquon Barkley next year though when he's available. He'll meet our.
I was thinking they were going to have him in week 8 for real. I thought I was thinking the trade deadline this year.
Because Saquon Barkley is the better version of Tony Pollard, If you want that running back that's going to catch the ball and run, and you only want to give him the ball 15 times anyway,
and can take the hits.
We need a better running back. We need a lead running back that has better vision. You know, but see,
Yeah.
all the people who said, you know, Zeke this, Zeke that. One thing you never could complain about with Ezekiel Elliott was his ball carrier vision. Now the fact that we having to bring up ball carrier vision shows you. I said this on Twitter. I know y'all don't think so, but playing running back does take skill. It does take skill.
Yep,
you know?
and running the 2-yard touchdowns takes skill.
Yeah, it takes skill. You have to have vision, you know. But y'all said, you know, whatever, you know, they washed or whatever. But you see now the consequences. So if it was easy, Tony would have 12. I think Tony probably has like maybe how many touchdowns? He has? Like 3.
He has 2, and he hasn't scored since week 1.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord,
he's only scored against the Giants. He's only scored versus the Giants.
And he did this past game, but it got called back. It got called back because of the whole Udoka, checking in thing. It got called back. He would have scored just this past game.
You got CeeDee Lamb. I'm out of here after this. You got CeeDee Lamb with 3 touchdowns and Kevontae Turpin with 3 touchdowns. And I'm gonna tell you a good conversation that somebody might want to have is should Kevontae Turpin come off special teams? Because every time he gets on special teams, he get hurt. And let's just be real, Kevontae Turpin is your second best offensive player outside of Dak Prescott. So if you had to rank these guys right now, it goes CeeDee Lamb, Kevontae Turpin. CeeDee Lamb got 3 touchdowns. Kevontae Turpin got 3 touchdowns. He got 2 receiving touchdowns and a rushing touchdown. You know what I'm saying? And he's making huge plays. Like he's your second place offensive player right now.
He is making
so at some point he's going to have to come on kickoff return. So that's why it makes sense to activate. Even if you activate Deuce Vaughn just to put him on special teams, do that.
Right.
Get Kevontae Turpin off. And I think I don't know if Deuce Vaughn will give you the same production, but I feel that he might give you a moment. Deuce will give you a moment.
Yeah.
Like I think he'll give you a moment.
I don't know what it is with Deuce, bro. Why he can't see.
Deuce got to get a helmet first. Let's just focus on Deuce getting a helmet. Can we issue him a helmet?
Right.
like one with a star on
it. He can't get on the field, bro. Like he did. We saw him versus the Jets. He looked good, and then he just got erased from the game plan. I think if they said because of passing protection or something like that. But I'm like, bro, y'all can't put him on a screen where he don't have to pass protect.
Right.
I don't know. Like whatever.
Right. He was turning up with them screens.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess West Coast. I don't know if he. Let me see. It says 3. Did he bounce?
I think he headed out. You know, I realized we
didn't. No.
Oh, you still here?
No.
Yeah, I'm here.
It's my internet is tripping.
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
I wouldn't do y'all like that, but my internet tripping like a mud, man.
I was like, he just go, but West Coast, you want to do your, close out, let people know where they
can. Yeah, and hey, man, if y'all don't believe me, man, people be trying to act like they don't believe me. That's my computer right there. You see that? That's my computer. Whole right there in the box. Everything, the whole box and everything. But yo, man, hey, man, I appreciate y'all for watching, man. I appreciate y'all ladies for having me on here, man. And it was a great show, man. Hey, if we could have it if we could push it back 30 minutes, we might be able to do this every Tuesday, man. I mean, whatever day this is, every Wednesday. I ain't tripping. I need more content. We all need more content. It was definitely a blast. And, I know my subscribers love watching y'all. So, you guys already know what I always say. Never look down because stars up. Peace. I'm a Cowboys fan and I love your content. Oh, appreciate you, my boy.
Appreciate you, Wes.
Deuce need to change. Maybe if Deuce changed, I didn't even almost recognize Deuce Vaughn with that bush he got on the side. That boy he looked like he going through it. That's all I'm gonna say. Get Deuce on the game so he can get a haircut, man. Deuce said I ain't cutting my hair till I can play, man. All right, I'm out of here, ladies.
Thank you. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate it, man.
They had picked up when talking about the the O-line play. Yeah. I think they said like the pass blocking. The pass blocking was improved, right? Significantly. Yeah. We were like 32nd. I think this year we're like top 15, I think, or something like that. I think I had bookmarked the tweet, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. I think I did. Maybe I didn't. I probably didn't. I'd be forgetting the bookmark stuff. Nah, I didn't.
Were you referring
to? Just the O-line, because I see people in the chat like, the O-line sucks and all this stuff. And I'm like, the O-line, definitely has struggled, but they definitely have been getting better.
Actually speaking of online, where you're talking about that, I'm bringing this bookmark that actually I think Nick Harris brought up. He put a tweet out like right after the game about the amount of pressures that each lineman has actually had over the season.
Yeah, definitely bring that up.
Let me see real quick.
Mickey, can you see about adding black background music to the show?
Oh yeah, I thought I had it. Oh, you know what? Because while the intro was playing, I had it muted. My bad. Let me see.
Okay, there it goes. I'm like, dang, it's quiet as hell in here. Okay.
Yeah, it was. I got you.
Let's keep going. It's fine. But
get up right quick.
Yeah, our offensive line definitely has struggled, but Tony's vision has definitely struggled as well. Like, there's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. And we were getting, it did seem like people complaining. I heard freaking guys over there on the fan, I've just given up on the run game. I'm like, if y'all opened y'all's eyes and looked at the opening drive of the second half, we was actually running the ball, right? We ran the ball, and we was getting a lot of yards. So I think the run game issue is actually kind of fixed. I think we'll be able to see that improve, obviously against the Giants. We just got to work on being a little bit more balanced, because playoff football, you need to be able to run the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully we'll get more to the swing of actually using Rico. Like, I know he's feeling, I don't know if he's feeling the pressure. I'm not saying he is, but if he's getting questions, I kind of want the same energy about Rico. We haven't really heard anybody asking him about questions about why Rico isn't really getting involved.
Rico, Hunter Luke, they did ask Mike about Rico.
I think Michael Gelkin reached. I think Michael Gelkin asked him.
Yeah, he has, and Mike said he's comfortable, but I don't think he's comfortable. They're going to definitely change some stuff up with the run game. They know they need the run game. I'm not worried about Mike. Every critique that Mike has faced, he's adjusted and he's fixed it. I know nobody's worried about the defense, but I am. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to continue to worry about the defense.
Right. Me too,
I don't see adjustments from Dan Quinn. I don't see adjustments from Dan Quinn. And that's just how I see it. Like, I see him keeping the same personnel, doing the same stuff, not really trying to change anything to improve. He's happy because, every time we play a lesser team, that's who we are. That's who we are. We play fast. We do this. Okay, but why in the big games
they change up?
Like, no one will talk about that. Like, our defense is supposed to be able to help us out a little bit more than, hey, I just did my job. I just gave you the ball back with 30 minutes left. I know I didn't get any turnovers and I let them score 4 touchdowns. But hey,
that's what I'm saying. That's really what's starting to not make me mad, but like it just seemed like, I know sometimes they say, shout out issues in the chat earlier, they kind of talked about earlier, they kind of talked about on their chat about how sometimes you just need a little bit of luck. Sometimes the ball just don't bounce your way. Like you mentioned, Star. You just need that. But it's like right there with the fumble. It's just like you really got to take those chances. You got to jump on those opportunities
jump on opportunity and get the freaking ball, bro. Like, you're not even being aware. Sam Williams, you caused the fumble, didn't even know you caused the fumble.
Right.
He was just like excited, like, oh, I caused the fumble.
I made a play. Right, exactly. Like you got to follow through. You got to finish. Like even though you're
games, exactly. That's what I'm saying, y'all. Like I'm not. If the defense just holds them to 3 one time, we win the game.
Right.
We win the game by probably, because we would have kicked those field goals instead of trying to force it and go on 4th down. We kicked the field goal and we literally win by like 6 or 7 points. I don't know, but it's just like
having 2 of those.
That's all I'm saying. Like, y'all can say what you want. You can say, the defense, they're not. Like, I had to disagree with Big Bro Wes, because I'm like, yeah, Wes, they did do good in the last playoff, the playoff games, bro. But the offense in that first playoff game also exploded, bro.
Right.
Like, the offense exploded. And then we played the 49ers, and they did play well. But still, there were plays that we needed them to make, and they couldn't come up with it, dog. Like, they couldn't come up with it.
Right. Or you just have the wrong penalty at the wrong time. Like having your hand in the neutral zone.
Penalties. That's what I'm like. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the penalties that they keep getting. Now that DPI on Gilly was BS. Like I'm not even gonna argue with that. That was total BS.
Yeah, number one.
But there are things that they're doing because of undiscipline, and it's not just in this game. It's been a continuous pattern with them, bro.
Right,
and it's
right. Like with Curse, I think this is Curse. I think since the Niners game, I think it's third or fourth game in the row where he either has offsides.
He's lining up offsides. Like, I think he's doing this with them. Like they're supposed to be our strength, our backbone.
Right.
We're supposed to be able to rely on you. I don't know, Trey.
Thank you. Shout out to Trey. Like just I was saying, how you get 3 games in a row. I know I wasn't the only one who noticed it. It's like
what are you doing?
Curse wasn't really getting penalties like that last year. So to hear his name, ring often,
I don't know, bro. But it's like, well, I feel like with Dan Quinn, bro, he ain't gonna change none of this stuff. Like, see, Mike, y'all get on Mike, y'all say Mike sucks, but every time Mike is criticized, he say, okay, let me fix that. Mike is not killing me.
Talk about his story. Like I have to mention in this game, like Mike McCarthy adjusted. Like we had a problem with him, and he finally went his back and adjusted the offense. Like we mentioned, finally establishing what the identity is, involving more playmakers.
Tolbert, Turpin involved. Trying to get the rookies involved. Now they're saying, get Rico. He can get, I bet you, he's going to get Cooks. He's going to get Rico. And he's been trying to get Cooks, but it's like, even in this game, he was trying to, but every single time it was a play to Cooks, Dak about to get his head blown off. So he's got to improvise, and he's got to get the ball to someone else.
I'm so glad you mentioned that start. There was a play where you can see Dak was looking Cooks' way before. I think it was a play before he went to Ferguson on that long throw. He was looking at Cooks, and Cooks was open. But Dak had to rush out the pocket and end up making
no time, bro. Like Mike is trying to do everything to win the Super Bowl. But I see Dan Quinn just saying, it's okay. I know we have some flaws, but we'll just keep it exactly like it is. I'm not going to take it right off the field. I'm not going to mix in any of my personnel packages. I think it's a great idea to have my
he has packages for Wanye, so why not incorporate them? When are we going to see that?
Dan Quinn is benching players. He is benching Wanye Thomas. Wanye Thomas didn't get a single defensive snap in this game. Like, you're benching him. You're benching Izzy McQuamu, dog. Like, this is crazy. I don't understand it.
Right, to only see Izzy on special teams right now and to not see him this whole season, especially back to your point once again, Star. Someone who played in the playoffs, who guarded Godwin with, I'm not saying no problems, but he showed he can do. He showed he can do what he can do in games. And like shout out to what Jose said.
And it's making me sad, but we complaining. But I'm like, Dan Quinn ain't gonna change.
Right.
Bro, and that's what now we gotta be concerned. You see, last year it was Kellen, bro, and now we gotta worry about Dan motherfucking Quinn,
right?
And y'all know how the media refused to ask Kellen any questions last year. They do the same thing to Dan Quinn because he gets up there with his monologue. Hey guys, what's up? Okay, well, this is what I really liked about this, and I really love this about this, and this is what this, and we could have done it better. So let's get it rocking, and let's do this. It's just like, I'm so tired of this man. And it's like your players are undisciplined, Dan Quinn, because you too busy trying to be their uncle and their friend and your buddy and wearing backwards caps and J's. I'm tired of it, dog. Like,
not J Star. Come on now.
That's what he be doing.
He had the all black suit on. I'm like, come on, Quinn. I know you're not trying to follow the trend of the 49ers about to go funeral.
Micah described Dan Quinn his coach. Oh, that's like my uncle, bro. It's like my coach. My uncle would be at the cookout. No wonder you see your players. And he said Quinn might not want to be there. I know it's gonna be. I'm not gonna say it right now, but I'm fine with it. Bye, Dan Quinn, bro. After this year, please go take a head coaching job, bro. That's what I'm saying. Thank you, Trey. Makes no difference. His defense is not different, and he gets a pass because when we play, because his players will make plays when we're playing quarterbacks that's not that great. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He gets a pass, and I'm tired of everybody like, no, they're gonna show up. Oh, will they? Will they?
Right. Right.
Like, we got it blown out, bro. They let the 49ers score 40 points on them, bro.
Right. Like, we're talking about these same players every week who are making these mistakes, and they're your veterans. You know, we see. I mean, not as of late, but we saw Hooker early on. You know, missing some tackle. We saw Curse, and we're still seeing
crazy.
Curse.
Yep, Uncle DQ. That's what I'm saying, bro.
Yes,
like my uncle. Like, oh, that's my guy. Oh,
right.
DQ. Yeah, like.
Right. I agree with you, Star. Like, it seems like I don't know if they're just afraid to, or like if he just gets a pass, and I don't want to say it's because of, like you mentioned, maybe because of the turnovers. There's times I wonder, is it because of, you know, we have the star player of Micah, and not saying Micah doesn't get criticism, but they still praise his on-field work. We know, and not saying he should be, because he does put the work in on the field. But
Micah puts the work in on the field, dog. But the way
fear of criticism.
Michael Parsons. Y'all don't believe me? Go through this morning and go to A to Z Sports. Watch Skywalker Steel Show with Okoye.
Right,
bro. When they show what Michael was doing in that championship game when he was in college, bro, that's how Michael should be utilized and played, dog. I'm tired of all that. Oh, we just gonna stick him. We're not saying. Ain't nobody in their right frame of mind would say, let's stop rushing Michael Parsons. That's dumb. Are you an idiot? Of course, we're not saying don't rush him, but rush him from different spots of the line. Don't just have him locked up to where they can just chip him or they can just run away from him, dog. Don't just have him where he can just easily get held. Have him rush from the middle. Like, it's simple. It's just simple adjustments that he can do. Micah, Nisi? It's true. I think Micah be telling Dan Quinn. Remember I said that, Nisi? Because remember when we was like, why was Micah lined up over Trent Williams the whole 49ers?
Right.
My right idea was that.
I agree with you on that part, Bruce. That I ain't gonna say he's live, but when he said that Michael's gonna be a chess piece, like you mentioned, Star, like having him line up. If you have him lined up on either side of the line, like it's easier for guys to double team him, to triple team him, to hold him.
Yeah, it's very easy. That's all we're saying. It's so easy it's reason why you're not seeing like Micah down, his sacks and stuff is down. Not that everything is sacks, right? Not everything is sacks, bro. But it's like Micah is not no elite. West Coast wasn't lying. When Micah's at defensive end, he's not no elite run stopper, bro. That's the law. Is an elite run stopper from the edge spot, but Micah's not that. Micah can stop the run, but from linebacker, from the middle of the field. That's all we're saying. Hey, Dan Quinn, I know you want to play Jordan Lewis, but when you have two guys, you're like, you know what? We got to play the matchup game because we know Dallas Goedert, he's like 6'4". He literally is a route running vertical threat tight end. He's a route running vertical threat tight end. You think it would be best to have our shortest corner on him the whole game? Like, just think about what you're saying. It just
doesn't burned early.
Sense.
Right.
It don't make sense.
Especially after seeing Wanye on Waller. He was covering CMC in the Niners game.
Up. And then Dan Quinn said, you know what, Wanye, today you're gonna be benched. That's what you deserve.
Right. And it seemed like ever since that Niners game.
It's true. Micah can set the edge, but he doesn't set it that well. Like, put him in a position where he can actually make an impact. Because Micah can take over games. But as long as we just keep him locked at the edge, bro, he's gonna get about 10 to 12 sacks. Okay, great. He got 10, 12. But that defensive player of the year that he wants, he's not going to get that just being locked over on the edge, dog. Right.
And if anything, just like you, I agree with you, Star. Just like if anything, it kind of stifles his explosiveness. Because if anything, at that linebacker position, even at those snaps we saw on Sunday evening, like I mean, kind of having mentioned with the running back position where you kind of get a running start, he gets his own running start out the backfield. So he's able to put that pressure on the linemen. Not only have to deal with the DTs in front of them, they got to deal with them and then Micah coming off the other side of them. So they have to worry about blocking both of them. And you're not stopping Micah at full speed. So that's
what I'm saying. Like, you can't stop when he's at the edge, but when you allow Micah to run full force towards you, you cannot stop him.
Right.
It was apparent on the Eagles film. That sack that he got Jalen Hurts, was that from the edge or from the middle? It was from the middle of the field. Like, that's all. Yeah, that's all I'm saying, bro. Like,
I
he said DQ had Dotto. DQ had Tyrus Wheat on Keenan Allen. Like, what?
Oh my gosh. Like, Donald should not be in coverage, bro. Like, they had Donald coverage in the end zone.
Last year, we saw Neville Gallimore in coverage. Like, is this Madden? Like, what are you doing?
When I saw Donald going out, I'm like, wait a minute now. Like, why is he leaping? I'm like, bruh. Like,
what
no.
is going on? Like, I don't know what that quit is doing. Listen, thank you, Trapper Hold It. He did it in this game, and he almost got a pick. Jalen Hurts threw that in the ground.
Yeah, I think Michael was in coverage. I think it was at the first quarter. I think I saw him at least one time in coverage in the first quarter. Like, I was surprised to see that. Because my first thought was, what's Micah doing in coverage? Okay, so they finally put him at linebacker. But you just don't get to see it.
Please put Trey's comment up. Thank you, Trey. Thank you, Trey. That's what I'm saying.
This one?
No.
Although about Calvin, bring it up.
Yeah. He's trying to prove that he's some type of genius. I told my brother this, bro. I was like, bro, Dan Quinn, he wants to be. You don't see Trey comment?
It's not. It didn't come up yet in the chat yet.
Oh no. Okay, but Trey said DQ was on his killing, trying to prove he's a genius. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, instead of just playing sound football, you trying to do all of these packages. You trying to do this. You trying to continuously have an undersized safety that we can all see on film. When you get hands on him, he's out for the count.
Yeah,
he's out.
Hey Trey, did you get your comment? Trey, it's not coming up in the chat, but I agree with you, fam. Like, I think he's so many people give him so much credit for being a so-called defensive mastermind that it just. I think he just gets so much credit for that. I'm not saying they're afraid to criticize him, but they're just. I think. I see often when the analysts talk about him, I think that their ending statement is always, well, DQ will come up with something. He's the mastermind. He'll figure this out. But here we are at week 9. Still, when we used to see stunts, saying, why is DQ doing stunts? We're saying, why are we stacking the ball?
Remember the Green Bay game? DQ was stunting our defensive tackles at the goal line. What are you doing?
Come on,
what
man.
What are you doing? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's trying to be right. He's trying to be this guru, bro. And it's like, you're not a guru. You are making our players play out of position. They're not fully being able to play. We stunting on first down. Like, exactly. Why, bro? Like, what are you doing? We just be letting people. He got our corners. Let me tell y'all, this is what he
famous. Now you need to stop now.
I teach you how to set. Yeah, exactly. DQ, this is what DQ do on 3rd and short. Let me have Stephon Gilmore. Well, here on 3rd and short. Like, what are you doing, dog?
You're giving him the 2 yards. Jalen Hurts
had 20. Jalen Hurts was literally. He was just like, oh, AJ Brown.
Right. Even Swift being wide open, like, and he was open the whole time on that whole play. Like, it's so frustrating.
We had them in 3rd and 15. I was like, all right, we're gonna get them off the field here. What is Dan Quinn doing? Playing loose coverage, no blitz. Jalen Hurts. Oh, Dallas Goedert.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It was just. I don't know, and we even saw it late last year. I know we were going through that whole cornerback thing, a cornerback carousel, just trying to figure out who we could put at these positions. But there's just times where you can't do this experimentation thing. Like, there's just times.
It's not like he's just doing dumb stuff. We like, okay, 3rd and 5. You got Stephon Gilmore 20 feet off the thing.
Always.
Like, you didn't even try. Exactly, Trey. You gotta go outside for DQ coverage. Like, That's 12 yards off the line. What are you doing, dog? Like, what are you doing for real? You just letting them go down the field. Like, all right, go ahead. It's like you don't.
We go separate from game one. So remember, I texted you. I'm like, why is he not? Well, he's not stacking the box until they get to the 5-yard line. It's too late by then.
It's like you're trying to be bend don't break, but your defense is breaking because they're getting touchdowns.
Right.
It's crazy.
I was saying that now. I was gonna say they had no time to stop the play because by the time they make them, they already getting the yards before you guys even get close to them. Like they're catching the ball
literally.
Like they're getting their yak after the first down.
You made it so easy for them to convert, dog. Like it was just easy peasy.
Yes.
We said one thing you needed to do: get pressure on Hurts. When you get pressure on him, his passer rating drops tremendously. Right. And what do? And people, we got some sacks. Okay, we got 3 sacks. But Hurts was not continuously under pressure all day.
Right. And that's one thing. I'm just like I like. I'm gonna say I like being number one, but I like being top. In pressures, but pressures aren't the complete play. Like period. Like
that's what I be trying to tell people. Like I'm glad that Micah got 20 pressures. Okay, I'm glad about that. But as pressures are important, let's not act like they're not. QB hits are important. Yeah. But at some point, we have to be able to seal the deal. We have to be able to get the turnovers that we need. This defense has too much talent to just make it, guys. We just need y'all to make it. And that's what our defense is. We just need y'all to make it.
Right.
We just need y'all to make it. Like what? Like that's ridiculous.
Like you said, they're just so like I think that was you who mentioned. I don't know if it was last night during the final word that they just want pretty plays. They just want the interception. They want the sacks. But you got to be able to do the dirty work too. You got to do the work that builds to those plays. You can't just be number one in pressures but not finish those plays. Like you can't have a fumble fall at your hands but not get the ball. We can't have, because we've seen in previous weeks the Eagles having these turnovers, having interceptions, having the fumbles. So to not capitalize, Washington having them fumble at the goal line, so we know they're susceptible to these kind of things. So to not be prepared for those situations, to be right there, to have your hands near the ball, to not grab that fumble, that's right there, to not like you mentioned earlier with Sam Williams, to not fully keep your attention, to not keep that focus fully through the play.
You just so happy you got it out. You just like, I actually got it out. Like
it's just like you have to maintain I'm not gonna say maintain your composure, but like you said, maintain that focus all the way through. Like that focus, we've heard it all week.
Don't be focused. They don't be focused in.
Yes, like you mentioned,
locked in, bro.
Down to the details. It comes down to the details when you're facing these upper echelon teams. And that's something we discussed a lot on our show star about when you're going against these big teams, you can't come half stepping. You got to come with your full game.
Full A game, but they're not doing it. Thank you, Kelvin. We love you too. Appreciate you. Like y'all aren't coming. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but I'm like, all I'm concerned about, we just not gonna use Evans at all, huh?
Right.
Use him at all. We just
even if you're trying to ramp him up, he's only on special teams.
You just now, granted, he did get that stupid penalty. It's like, Evans, what are you doing on special teams, dog? But at the same time, it's like we have Damone Clark, which I'm sad because I thought Damone Clark was going to be our green dot. He was going to show up and show out.
Right.
He's not really doing that. He's about middle of the road, but he's not coming to see. He's not a middle linebacker. He's more of a wheel linebacker. He needs to be able to fly around, just make plays, right? That's the same way with pretty much Marquise Bell. Yeah. You don't have a true middle linebacker. What championship defense do you know don't got a true middle linebacker? What's up, landlord? Glad to see you tonight, brother.
What's going on, landlord? Good to see you, man.
King of the trap. But
right.
There's just some concerns, and I'm like, Dan Quinn, Yeah, I think so too because he started he had an aggressiveness last year, but this year he's become just way less aggressive.
Yeah.
Like we said, Marquise Bell, he's like a missile, but you get a hand on him, he's out for the count. You think teams ain't gonna be able to do that in playoffs?
Right.
These guys' mistakes and their flaws is on film. And
that's one thing I don't like about Kurtz. Like he can't seem to get off a block for nothing. Like the guy holds the guy's hands until the play is done. And so I'm like, not saying LBE, like come on, bro.
Trying to get out blocks. You letting Kurtz. You're letting Devontae Smith. Like, what are you doing? That's almost as bad. Remember in the playoff game, and was that in 21? No, that was last year, where Michael was getting pushed by Brandon Ayuk. That's what I be saying, dog. Like these players,
right?
You're not showing up how you're supposed to show up. The offense has been showing up since that loss. I believe it. There was some rumors like Mike's just staying at the. It looked to me like he was staying at the facility, not sleeping.
Right.
Since that loss, Mike is like, we gotta score. We gotta change the way we do things. We gotta be aggressive. But I just see Dan Quinn just.
Right. Yeah, I think he's just gotten so much, and not that it's not warranted, but he's gotten so much praise. It's like, I mean, and we always knew that this defense needed work. Like we knew they had the historical numbers as far as turnovers, takeaways, having that effect, keeping opponents under 20 points. I think at the week 6 or 7 last year. Yeah. So yes, they have had these numbers, but that doesn't mean. I mean, like even from a game that you win, you still gotta take a lesson from every game that you play, and like they say in press conferences, learn, take what you can work on, but. This defense is just taking their strengths, I would say, taking their strengths and just kind of really playing off those, but their weaknesses, as we've seen with the penalties, at bad times, not staying disciplined, I'm saying, not following through with plays.
Because the defense. Now, you think if you didn't at least give Dak 2 drives in the third, we would have scored another touchdown, bro. Y'all gave us 1 drive in the third. Right, we had 1 drive in the third.
To have Philly come out and have 2, and not just 2 drives, but 2 long. To have them have, I think it was 10 to 11 minutes in the third quarter. That's not good.
Philly and them took the whole third quarter away. By the time we got the ball back, it was 1 minute left in the third.
Right.
So now you put in.
And CD had to drop.
We still scored in the fourth quarter. It's like you put so much pressure.
Right.
What happened to complimenting all this stuff? You put so much pressure to where it's like, we can't make a single effing mistake now because we don't even have time.
Right.
We don't have time. Then on the final word, they're like, the last play where freaking Terrence Steele got beat like a drum.
Right.
Because they were like, where was the outlet? Supposedly, Turpin ran the wrong route. Turpin was supposed to cut in. If Turpin cut in, Dak doesn't have to try to spin out of that. He was just trying to throw it fast.
Mm-hmm.
Get it to Turpin. Turpin, you going like, what's happening? That's what I'm saying. But you put too much pressure. You have all this pressure. Defense. But that's what I'm saying. The offense is you see them slowly building up the chemistry and working and improving.
Right.
But the defense, it's like they almost are like, we got it. I don't know, but I just don't see the same urgency out of them.
Yeah.
Urgency.
It's kind of like the tables have flipped a little bit. Like you said, like in the beginning of the season, we saw the defense pretty much running the board. We saw them scoring. The defense, the offense kind of had, not saying they had the idea, but even in games 1 and 2, Dak was saying, well, we didn't have to do much, because the defense was scoring points. So why show the playbook? Why, put the ball in danger? Because the defense had it handled. But even now to this point, we're not even seeing half of that defense we've seen in the first couple of weeks. Like Dan Quinn even mentioned he mentioned himself in his own press conference. Scoring defense needs to improve. We need those takeaways. They need to get back to that.
That's what it's supposed to be. Take the ball away. And yeah, right, landlord, like the defense not right. Yeah, look, you getting phased out, bro. I'm like, if this if this ninja made one more mistake,
right.
And I think this is why I gotta question y'all about this front office and stuff like that, these politics and stuff. Because if it was true, and maybe it's true in some instances, but it's not true in all, because Michael Gallup, he's literally getting phased out. Then they got Jordan Schultz putting out, they've been trying to find a wide receiver to complement CD and Cooks. Wow. Like, they trying to develop a plan. Like, I'm like, the front office is getting, I do think the front office wants to win Super Bowl, dog. And it's just like, have they done everything right? No, they have not. We still suffering from getting rid of Amari. Everybody knows that was the dumbest decision we made. We should have never gotten rid of Amari Cooper, dog. Like, we know that. We know that. That was a mistake. But I think they put things in place to say, we do want to win. Because if they wasn't worried about it, they would still say, you would still see Michael Gallup getting 10 targets to this day.
Right.
If they was really saying, if that, we don't care about Super Bowl, we want Michael Gallup, he's the one who's getting paid, he's the one who gets the target.
Right, he's our guy. Mm-hmm.
Michael Gallup is down to 3 targets. And another thing I need y'all to stop saying that the front office and stuff and the whatever is trying to force the picks down our throat. Half of our freaking draft picks, bro, don't even suit up.
Right.
Shoemaker gets a target a game. Like, stop it.
Yeah.
He's getting 1 target a game. No one is forcing Shoemaker down our throats. He is not getting forced down our throat. Michael Gallup's getting 3 targets a game now, and he about to be down to 1. To be quite honest.
Honestly, yeah. I think
Dak don't even trust Michael Gallup no more. He be open. No.
Right. I'm just seeing that along the sidelines. You really see Tolbert a lot next to Dak. Really, like you say, he's gaining that trust. And really shout out to you and I'm sorry, Big Game James for you guys showed last week saying that they're going to start utilizing Tolbert more, and we saw that in the game. I mean, not saying that was his last chance, but once Gallup made that drop, we saw second half him come right out.
And I think front office also, like, they trying to push everybody, because even Tolbert, they should have moved Gallup before deadline, but I think they tried to low-key feature him versus their Chargers game.
That's what I think it was too.
Bad. Ain't nobody want no Michael Gallup. They said we good.
Right. Because he was so questionable even from last year, and everyone knew about him coming back from injury and things like that. But I mean, he was kind of questionable coming into this season. Us Cowboys fans were questioning if Gallup was going to be ready to go this year. So we know that other organizations knew that he was questionable as well. So it's not I'm sure he didn't even have really a lot of value as it was.
It's just. But they're trying to do things, and I know it's like, dang, we should have just probably tried to make a trade. We should have tried to do this. I'm like, I get it, y'all. We should have. You know what I'm saying? But you have somebody. But I think even with Tolbert, I don't think front office like that. Dak went to you on 4th and 8. You couldn't come down with it. Now, granted, he was held. Granted, the ball was a bit high. I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say the ball was perfectly thrown. It was not. It's not perfectly thrown. Not saying you wasn't held by Bradbury, who's trash, right?
Right.
The pass should have went to Ferguson. We all know that was wide open. But you got to think about, my clock is sped up. So Dak is like, I'm looking at CD, and then I'm going over here to isolate because I'm trying to attack the mouse and have all quarterbacks do it. But Dak has to learn from that situation and say, you know what? And that's what I was saying too with Mike. My last critique on Mike, you gotta put the right players in the right situations. I get it that Tolbert was hot. He was hot in the 4th.
Right, yeah.
He was scorching hot. We was like, okay, Dak's like, okay, I'm confident. Yeah. I'm gonna give him a big moment. It's gonna work out. Dak was, he had no doubt in his mind Tolbert gonna come up with it. No, bro. Right. Who should have been there? Brandon Cooks. When the game is mine, you have to have it to where it don't matter where your quarterback go. It's going the chances of it being a completion needs to be pretty high.
Correct.
You go into Tolbert in a high pressure moment. No, bro.
Right.
Mike, Why you should have Scoon doing the dirty work. I'm mad at Ferg because it's like, Ferg, you just do your job. That's a walk-in touchdown. He didn't do it. But at the same time, Mike said Scoon ran the wrong depth of route.
Right.
That didn't happen with Jake Ferguson, Mike.
Exactly. And that's what we talk about. That's what we talk about with the detail star. Like we mentioned against the 49ers, like if you're gonna make that pass, I mean, we even saw with the touchdown pass, I think against the Patriots that Schoonmaker missed. But you go to Jake and he makes that catch like it was nothing. And they said they practiced that. So Schoon, I'm sure, has that down to a science. So if you're gonna send Schoonmaker,
Luke should have been doing the pick, not first, right?
Thank you. So in this situation, that just automatically should be.
Mike said Luke didn't, and Mike said that Luke, he didn't get set in time either.
Exactly.
So
you can see not only. I'm not saying that you like you mentioned earlier with this. It's clock being sped up. It's like Luke he went up out and then went right for the catch. Like you mentioned, you gotta know.
Nervous. He was nervous. Like these are young players, Mike. You can't put them. And I get it, Mike. I get like you want all your young players because you think. I was talking to my brother about this as well. He's like, remember when Mike McCarthy won a Super Bowl, he won it with like 16 players on IR.
Right.
I think Mike wants all the young guys to get moments and chances because he's like, we may have to rely on you. But when you got the horses, dog, use them.
Right.
Like
you said, like we mentioned with the Cardinals game, instead of being, worried about what they're gonna do, continue to go through with their game plan.
Right. When you got the horses, use them. We're not saying don't try to get Luke any easy looks or passes. Because try to get everybody acclimated, right? But when the game is on the line in a divisional game like that, Mike, you cannot risk it.
Yeah.
And he risked it there. That's my critique on Mike McCarthy. He cannot allow that to happen again. When the game is on the line, and another thing I want y'all to look at is how you also know Michael Gallup getting phased out. That last play before Dak got his head blown off, could still miss the block. Michael Gallup was not on the field, dog.
Right. At all.
They don't trust him. They do not trust him. They've made the adjustments. I need Dan Quinn to get some cojones,
right,
and put the right people on the field in the right positions.
I agree.
You have the personnel. If you want to lead with J. Lou, you can lead, but you cannot have people. Everybody knows that's a mismatch. If we the dumb fans who don't get paid no money to do this, you probably don't want to have Jordan Lewis guarding Dallas Goedert.
Right.
Dan Quinn, you telling me you didn't know that? Exactly. You got the coaches.
Sometimes they get in their own way. Like they want things done their way. Even with Mike McCarthy, like you said, we saw what song he was singing in the beginning of the season. But we're seeing that he has to adjust.
He had to change because Mike is seeing his defense like panic.
Right.
Falling apart. You falling apart.
Right.
And it's just I'm
hoping in that same regard, like hopefully he can, speak to his guy Dan Quinn, because we know the relationship that they have. So hopefully, so that, like you said, like he's made the adjustments. Talk to your guy, like, hey man, look, I'm starting to see these things here, like, and they know that, we know they have that relationship. So hopefully, somewhere along the line, they can kind of, Dan Quinn can, like they have, like I was talking about what I think it's called the across the hall, where they mentioned, the defense talking about what they can stop with the offense and vice versa. It needs to be on the coach's level. Like, hey, DQ, like I'm seeing something that you could possibly change. I'm saying that could, possibly.
And we need to keep putting the pressure out there so that the media can start really questioning Dan Quinn, because some of these decisions, it's not making sense. As we said, Mike is making the adjustments, but Dan Quinn, are you going to make any adjustments? And you can't sit here and tell me, dog, that Jerry and Steven care if you play Curse over Wanye, or Wanye. Curse is getting paid $2. He's getting paid $2, bro.
Right.
And they didn't pay him. He the only safety in the room they did not pay.
Correct. I agree with you. Like
That's
I know that.
Swin wanting Curse on the field because he's his green dot guy. He's his green dot guy.
Yeah, I agree with you, Trey. Like, and just kind of a point on that, before we get out of here. Like,
yeah, he's gonna look like a genius. Yeah, we gonna look the out. They gonna get 20 takeover. They gonna make Danny DeVito. They gonna put him in the dirt.
Right, and say kind of the same thing with Mike McCarthy as well. And I hope it's just not this game in particular. Like, I hope it continues. I don't want it to be a game like, back when Amari was talking about he wasn't getting the ball. And I know that Brandon Cooks isn't talking about not getting the ball, but with McCarthy getting this pressure, as far as I don't want it to be a game where they say, okay, well, we fed Brandon Cooks. Now we're featuring him. We're going to get him, 100 yards. We're going to get him 50 yards, 75 yards. Okay, now we're featuring him. And then when we get back to the big games, we don't go to him once again. Like, I want him to be continued. Like you mentioned, Star, I agree with you. I think that McCarthy will adjust, along the way and, start to utilize Cooks more. I just want to continue.
Because I'm trying to see, when you have how many times do the Eagles go to, like, Devontae Smith a game? Because I'm like, how much realistically do you supposed to go to your number 2 game? I don't know.
Right.
I don't know how much target. Like, okay, let me look. I'm gonna just try to look it up real fast, and then we can let out because we have been on here for a while.
Yeah.
Let me see. Okay, let's see how much did Devontae get targeted last versus the Eagles? I think he got targeted. He only got 3 targets.
You said 3? Yeah, yeah, they weren't really going to Devontae Smith like that. I mean, he had the touchdown, but
like Hurts goes to him, but when you have a number 1, like so I'm like, it is kind of normal. Let me look at who's another.
I'm gonna look at the Bengals right quick because they have a
yeah. Look at the Bengals. I'm gonna look at the Bucks and see like what type of how many targets does like Chris Godwin get? Okay, let me look.
Yeah.
This is
actually they just beat the Bills. So let me see what they targeted.
Chris Godwin.
Yeah, see, like T. Higgins, he had 9 targets, 8 receptions. Jamar Chase, 8 targets, 4 receptions, but I think he went out early.
So they try to because I'm like, some may try to be more balanced.
Yeah.
But I think, see what Trey was saying, I think that when you have a dynamic tight end, he's kind of like your wide receiver too.
Exactly, and I heard that on Talking Cowboys that Jake Ferguson isn't necessarily the wide receiver too, but he's the second receiver.
He's basically like a wide receiver too. So
right,
I think realistically, guys, like the amount of targets that Cooks, he probably is going to be in that 3 to 5 range, maybe 3 to 6, but we targeted CD 16 times this game, I think, or something crazy.
Yeah, 16. Yeah, 16. Mm-hmm.
When you have a true number 1, he eats first, and then you go to your number 2 option. In our offense, our number 2 option is our tight end. So really, Brandon Cooks is the number 3 option.
Right.
So,
right. And even then, to your point, like even if he does get those 3 to 5 targets, we got to find ways to make those, and that's really what his plus was coming on, his big playability. So even if he does have those 3 to 5 targets, he's
get him right, and that's how it is, right? So they definitely just need to work on just trying to get him some big hitters, because pretty much that is why we brought him, like get him some big hitter plays,
right?
But as far as who Dak needs to be focused on targeting is CD and Ferg. CD and Ferg. Because
and it seems like Turpin has become not gonna drop, but it seems like Turpin has moved up to number 3 because I mean he has what, like you said, like you mentioned earlier, 2 to 3 touchdowns. No, he's I'm not saying he's the number 3
Turpin
target.
Has become our weapon in the red zone. He's become our weapon in the red zone. That's why he's got those 3 touchdowns.
True.
So you gotta focus on CD Ferg first, and then you sprinkle in, you get maybe a couple of targets to Cooks, couple of targets to Turpin, couple of targets to Tolbert. Yeah, but that's how we have to work it, because we can't be sitting here just today. We just gonna feature Brandon Cooks over the expense of CD Lamb. Like, now I love Brandon Cooks, right? He is a playmaker too, but he's not CD Lamb. Like, we got to feed CD Lamb. Now some games you can play more balanced if you want, but I don't really think.
No, I agree with you. Like it has to be, it has to just be, spread out. I don't say spread out evenly, but and I know it has. I understand it has to, be a opponent, accordingly. Definitely depending
Right.
on
It's a matchup game, right?
Yeah,
So like obviously
yeah,
if they got a bum, say they just really trying to lock CD down all game and they got a
right,
bum on Brandon Cooks all game, then like yeah, you can switch it up. You can play the matchup.
definitely.
But when we talk about game planning, we can't be game planning. Like I know what people are saying, like it sounds good, like, but Cooks is it's not that he's getting under target. He is the third option in our offense, and that usually goes between 3, maybe 7 targets. 3 to
Right.
7, I think should be his range. 3 to 7. But
Yeah.
I don't want him with the way Fergus is playing. Like I don't want Cooks targeted more than him because he's also a Ferg is a big body. He has the shiftiness, yards after catch, and he's just really dominant. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I think if we just, like I said, like we just been talking about, even if we just use Brendan Cooks,
Yeah.
those 3 to 5 times, even just 3 times, but if we find those big
find
plays,
those plays, right? Like
I think
exactly how he was used in the Rams in the Chargers game. Perfect. That's perfect. For
exactly,
Brandon Cooks. I need a big
exactly.
third down. Boop, I'm going to Brandon Cooks.
Right, and we saw him being targeted against the Eagles, but and I know Dak, kind of overshot him a little bit, kind of went over his head, like one of the sideline passes. But if we just, like I said, if we just find the right way to utilize him,
just the right formula, just the right.
Right.
Formula. I think
it don't have to be, have him turning up. But if you just utilize him correctly, he can definitely still add to the team. And I think that not saying it's about the pressure that he's getting, but I think Mike McCarthy is just trying to find ways to kind of incorporate him.
About 4 targets a game is good for him because he had 4 versus the Rams, and he went 3 for 49 yards, average 16 yards per catch, and he had a touchdown. That's a good day.
So that sounds about right. Yeah, 15 yards, just those big plays, just to kind of convert those first downs, or just to just give us easier, give us better field position, things like that. So just to kind of move between the 20s.
Yeah, and also if you just want to really get the ball in his hands, do end arounds, just like you do with Turpin. Do that with Cooks.
Yes, we saw him have the success on that, and like I said, it's just really a crime when we see him have those big plays, like you mentioned on the end around, just having him even on a screen, or just giving him space, like having you use Pollard.
Exactly. You could use Brandon Cooks like that. Like just find ways to stop throwing slants and drags to Michael Gallup and give those to Brandon Cooks.
Right. I agree with you, Star.
What's up, Chris? He said we need a real 3-down back, like with Hunter Luepke, that could open it up. Yeah, I definitely think we are just really doing a disservice with Hunter Luepke. Because I can see, I want Rico to get more touches, of course, but Rico is a guy, he will get hurt. But Hunter's not. And it's like, use him. And Hunter, he doesn't tip your hat off, they're running it, because he's a pass catcher too. He can catch passes really well. He can run routes. He can do all that stuff. So I think that's
and we know them third down conversions are really need to be like a focus point in our game.
That's on our running back coach. What's his name?
What's his name? Because he just came back from being out.
He needs to tell me. But see, that's why Mike has assistant coaches, bro. Like, you need to tell me, hey, Mike, let's use Hunter in this package. I think he'll be good. We've seen him, like based on my observations, this is what we need to do.
Oh, Jeff Blasco. Yeah, he just came back. Jeff Blasco.
Yeah, so this is a good, as we let out, this is a good game where you could really try to like experiment and figure some things out.
Yeah.
Because we should be able to sit at the top of the 4th, hopefully.
Yeah, I know it's in a lot of our blowout games we've seen, at least at the halftime, like I said, we just come correct and just play our game. At halftime, we could be up, maybe 21 even. I think in our blowouts, we were up like maybe 30 points. I think, 26 points at the half.
We tend to get up fast. And I will say this about Tony Pollard. We just need to use Tony Pollard like we used him last year, dog. It's not that hard, bro. You got 2 y'all acting like we ain't got no other running backs.
Right.
Like, use him on power toss plays, outside zones. That's where he thrives at.
Right. and he welcomes the 1-2 punch. Like he saw the success they had, well, the past couple of years with Zeke. So and we all see what Rico was capable of. Like you mentioned, I know he has the thing with his hip, but he's getting those 8 yards. He's getting those, those big burst yards. If we just put him in and we saw Tony get a little bit loose this past weekend, but we know it wasn't, to the effect to have a big impact as far as run game.
Yeah, bro. And it's like, I don't like Tony going up there in that middle, bro, because I saw on film when he was on the ground, you got big ass Jalen, who was that? It was Jordan Davis who literally just like plopped on him.
Landed on him, yeah.
Like, no, bro.
These guys are looking to do that. So that, like,
exactly. Like, y'all talking about us probably playing dirty, like, oh, but this 300 plus pound man literally jumping on my tiny running back is not right. Like, y'all trying to hurt him. They're trying to hurt him.
Right. Especially
whatever, in a legal way, but y'all are trying to hurt him. Like, I'm tired of it. You don't need to be using Tony like that because you're gonna get him hurt.
Right. And we know. And we know we have Washington. I know. Granted, they got rid of the. They don't have their DTs anymore, but they have Washington coming up. And he mentioned those are some of those the toughest games.
Hard, yes. That's listen. All I'm saying is use all your backs that you got. That's my last word. Like, just use all the backs that you got. Y'all need to figure it out because we gotta have a run game.
Yeah,
we have to have it. We going up to Buffalo in the middle of the cold. I would like to win that game. But we're not going to win that game expecting – this is not people talking about, I think CD will have a better day than Diggs. Bro, we're going to be in a snowball, bro.
Right. And they're not going to be going like that either because they didn't throw –
Exactly. It's going to be – you have to be able to control – and even playoff football, like, we need to get ready for it. And the way you get ready, you've got to have a run game.
Right, so, because the Bills themselves, they're not a running team, but they knew when they had them snow games, when they had them cold games, they know they got to run the ball.
The Bills have actually become now a running team this year.
Right.
James Cook, Dalvin Cook's brother, he's balling out over there.
Running up over there. Yeah, he really is.
Balling out. They found something in him, and I'm happy for him because I know Josh Allen, bro, he needs a run game. He can't be Josh Allen he was like Hurts. I am the run game. I am the passing game. Now, granted, he still throw a lot of picks, but whatever. They don't care. Jalen Hurts got the same amount or one less pick, and he's an MVP. Josh Allen's an MVP race too. Nobody cares about picks no more. No one cares about it.
Right.
Mahomes, all of them. They got tons of picks. They all in topping the MVP odds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so guys. So just shout out to West Coast, shout out to StarChasers Sports, shout out to Craven Cowboys. I think we came out with a fire show tonight. I'm glad for everybody coming through. Spending a Wednesday even with us. Just chilling, talking football. Just really just giving us the reason really to stay on here just a little bit longer than we usually do because we
just over here talking.
Cause we love talking about our boys and just like we mentioned earlier in the show at the beginning, just really getting our voice out there and just giving our points of view and just hoping that the right person can hear it and just hoping that it can change the organization for the better and
we gotta keep speaking up, keep speaking out, and hopefully these things will change. I'm gonna try to slip in Aisha DMs and give her a list of questions to ask them.
Right. And she asks good questions too.
Her and Michael Gelkin, they always ask good questions. Like, we need the answers. We need improvement because this defense it's got too much talent on it to just don't mess up. Like, no,
to just be getting by shouldn't be the standard anymore. It shouldn't be just okay to just be good enough. And that's
what I'm saying. It's just we just happy to be good enough. I don't like that. I'm not really feeling that. I'm not feeling we're just, and it's like, Michael, you posting your stats, and that's great. I'm glad you got those stats, dog. But like,
this really should be about the team. You know what I'm saying? Like this year, I know the guys are getting that. I know they're a team group. They have that chemistry in the locker room. They have that culture in the locker room. But like you mentioned, with Michael posting the stats, like right now, like the folk, like they should really be all in this year. Especially
damn, we don't care about the stats, bro. And it's like, it's cool. I get you. You are nice, Michael. You're the best.
Right.
Like, we need you to also And I don't know, like Micah, maybe he wants that defensive end money, but it's like, is that what's best for the team?
Exactly.
Like, you're not a defensive end, Micah. You are a pass rushing linebacker.
Exactly.
If you was you're a pass rushing linebacker. People try to compare him to Von Miller. I'm like, yeah, he's similar, but Micah should be all over the place. He runs a 4-3. Like, why would you want a guy who runs a 4-3 to just strictly be an edge?
At one, and especially, and you see how effective he is when he does move around.
Tyreek Hill, or just as fast as Tyreek Hill, dog, but we just gonna have him setting edges.
Right, with the ability to be locked down at the line at every play, really. Because I mean, it's kind of, they want to use him to have other players, to kind of get off.
I get it, but you can also disrupt and cause that from rushing him from different places.
Right, just have Micah get off, and if the other guys can't get off, they'll get theirs where they can. But you need the best player on the field to make those plays.
Really, like Dan Quinn, all you gotta do solidify this, mix up the linebackers, bro, and stop just trying to really rely on only Bell and Clark, trying to act like they're just the best thing since sliced bread. They are good, bro, but we also have some of them hesitating, don't know where to over for pursuing. Like, you need to put some veterans in your defense at the linebacker position, right? And then on top of that, like, mix up the personnel in the back end and play the matchup game.
Right.
Like, when you lost Trey, you have to mix up the personnel. You have the personnel, you're just not doing it.
Right.
Like, I don't get it. I really don't get it. And it's like, it's Dan Quinn who, like, y'all don't really be developing the all them linebackers and stuff we had.
They could be throwing them out there.
Like, you're not developing, bro. Like, y'all didn't develop them. Like, I don't know, but I just think Dan Quinn, people keep saying, it's gonna be Mike McCarthy's gonna lose the Super Bowl and all of that stuff for us. And I'm like, I don't think so, guys, because Mike is doing his business. He's like, I'm trying to change, I'm trying to evolve. But who I see acting like there's no flaws in his defense and that he could just keep saying, we'll be better next week, we'll be better next week, we'll be better next week.
Right. And then they have a standout game against the team like against the Giants.
Against Tony, y'all blew out Tommy DeVito. Then he's gonna come up there. Yeah, that's really who we are.
Right.
It's like, Dan Quinn, I'm tired of this bullshit. Yeah, y'all. I'm so tired of it, bro. Like, you need to do better.
Yeah,
you need to do better against the big teams, bro. Because I'm tired of seeing the same discipline from your guys, break and contain, playing hero ball. Then you're not playing people who should be playing, who will play with more discipline. Just because those are your guys, you want your guys. Yeah. Like, y'all talk about Dan Quinn, he loves his guys.
Right, facts. Yeah.
God, it is like carrying them.
He'll convert the whole safety room before he go out and get a linebacker.
Bro, we carrying 7 safeties. We carrying 6 to 7 safeties, dog. Because he just think he don't need no linebackers, bro.
Right.
That stuff is crazy. Like, I'm sorry, did you have the Legion of Boom? Was you running safeties out there?
Right.
It's like, I watched a video. This is the last thing I'm gonna say. I really gotta go. But I watched a video about Jimmy Johnson and how Jimmy Johnson was actually one of the first people to say, I'm gonna convert safeties to linebackers and stuff like that because of the speed. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, if you look at the safeties back then who was converted, like our linebackers back then in the 90s, bro, they looked like linebackers.
Right.
Like,
that's players in general. Like, you see a lot of players back then who were big.
They were a lot bigger. So it's like, now you got these small guys that literally look like cornerbacks.
Right.
Trying to play and trying to literally tell us that, Bell, it doesn't. Yeah, he really sheds blocks. His weight's no issue. Are you serious, bro?
Not at all.
We see it. Like, he's lying to us. I don't understand. He's so obsessed with speed, but I'm like, bro, clearly the offensive coordinators are like, oh, that's what you want to do? Okay, we know exactly how to get a body on him. He's out for the count.
Right. Right. Yeah, he definitely needs to make quick adjustments. Like you mentioned against better teams. Can't just be about
against better teams. Our next big test coming up, I think, will be the Seahawks.
Yeah.
And then it'll be Philly, and then it'll be Buffalo, and then Miami. Like, then we need this defense to step up versus elite. Like, they've got to play better, because trying to get your offense because we also playing against the offense is also playing against good defenses and stuff like that. So we're not going to be able to just put up 40 burgers on his defense.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
On the defense, like these are going to be close, tight games. That means you have to be able to limit the guys to at least 21 points. Please, is that too much to ask? Limit it to 21.
Because you put the offense even more, and not saying you set them back, because it's their responsibility to score points, like West Coast was saying earlier. Yeah. But if you allow them to score, if you allow the opposite to score points, then you're putting the offense even more of a hole, because then you got to get them the extra possession. But if you can't get them the extra possession, then they're not gonna have a chance.
And it's
you mentioned stealing possessions. That's one thing that you brought up about stealing possessions.
You have to steal possessions. And then it's like, we glad y'all gave us the ball back to give us a chance to win, dog. But it's like, you giving us the ball back. Okay, it's only 2 minutes left in the game. 4 minutes left in the game. Okay, thanks a lot.
Right.
And the reason why we get the ball back, bro, is because they wasn't even trying to move the ball.
And you know that too. I'm not saying Philly. I'm not saying
wasn't even trying to move the ball. So they went 3 straight 3 and out. They wasn't even trying to do.
They were in their own territory, running the ball 3 times. What did you expect? They weren't going to get out of there. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not saying that Philly gave it to us, but I'm just I'm like, what's Philly doing? Because I know Sirianni. We know how he is. So he can do everything he can. You know what I mean? So it's just like.
So it's like this because if they was aggressive, something tell me that they would have scored another touchdown.
Right.
Bro. They would have
they scored against Washington when they were in their own territory. So it's it wasn't impossible. But like me and Star was saying, thank you guys for coming by.
Thank y'all.
Fire ass show. We thank you for you guys' time. I hope you guys have a good rest of the night. And catch us next week. Of course we know we facing the Giants this Sunday. Hope you guys enjoy the game. Hopefully we'll have more lessons to take from that game, and hopefully we'll just see more progress as we go along.
Hopefully something else that we can build on. Y'all, please like the video. Please donate to us with our cash apps. Also follow us on our social medias, StarChasers Sports. I'll put it down in the link below. I don't feel like saying all that stuff.
Anyway, make sure you guys hit up all our social media. Follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us on YouTube. Make sure you guys hit all them, like she said, hit the like button, hit the share button. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your evening.